Armeena, it's lovely to have you here and welcome to Real Life with Ridah Khan.
Thank you for having me.
Armeena, I was looking forward to talking to you. Every time I've met you before at a film premiere for your film promotions and recently as well at the Houses of Parliament. And it's really nice to meet such a pleasant face. You're always so lovely and pleasant.
Aww.
So how much do you love all the social work that you do? Armeena, how important is it for you?
I think that's my mission in life, because when I first started out with my acting work, this is a means to an end, because I always wanted to use my platform to do good, to give back is my mission statement in life. And I picked that up from my mom because when I was a little girl, I'd see her being compassionate to just random strangers, to animals. I mean, her kindness knew no bounds. And that's where I get, I would say, the ability to empathize with everyone. And it's not limited to just human beings. I mean, I will lend my voice to anything that can't speak for itself. So it's very important to me. I think it's one of the very it intrinsically makes me who I am. I can't exist without spirituality. It forms part of my whole spiritual side of things. And as an actor, I have a social responsibility and conscientious. I feel that it is my job and my duty to raise my voice and to lend it to the ones that don't have it.
Yeah, that's really great. And Armeena, you're very active with your voice. Even though you're part of show business and showbiz, you do voice your opinion and voice your thoughts on anything that you feel is important to you. So recently there was a controversy. You almost started like a movement with a Bollywood actress, Priyanka Chopra, and she went on to say something that you felt quite strongly about, and you called her out on it. And it was very brave for you, because it was at a time where a lot of other Pakistani actresses would put their personal relations before anything else, and even though they would feel like, no, this is wrong, they wouldn't want to say anything, but you felt like it was important to speak up about it. So if you could explain to us, for those of the audience that probably don't know exactly what happened.
There was nothing that was sinister. So I just feel that based on the fact that we are actors and we have huge social platforms and people follow us, we are possibly role models to a lot of young people, and it's about setting the right kind of precedent. So if you are going to promote war, it's unbecoming on someone with such a huge following. Now, of course, I'm sure she has her reasons, but I don't subscribe to nationalism. I don't subscribe to borders. I don't subscribe to war. I'm a human first before anyone else. And it isn't about judgment. I feel that humanity takes precedence over everything else. Whether it's a personal product that you're selling, I don't think that you should sell it on the back of war just to gain that popularity and cash on the nationalistic sentiment, because it almost always backfires.
And you visited these same places as Priyanka, didn't you? So you were even more surprised that after seeing those places, and she's representing the UN, of course, and UNICEF, and you've been there too. And
I'm a little surprised. I mean, I commented on her personal choices, but I feel that they were perhaps not the correct choices. Because as someone who's seen war so closely, and I'm sure she does amazing work elsewhere, but I just felt that it was inappropriate. So what if it's Pakistan?
Yeah, exactly.
We have the same blood. We are human beings. And I think, like I said, human beings, humanity take precedence over India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, whatever it is. We are one race, and that is it. End of the story. There there's no ifs and buts. So there's no reason why anyone should promote war.
Yeah,
especially when you've seen it so up close.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Armeena, I wanted to ask you if you could tell us a bit about your story of how you're from Canada, right? So from Canada and coming to Pakistan and working there, it's almost like there's a big difference in culture, you know, whether you go from Canada, you go from England, and working there and working with Pakistani people and having a great reception from the audience. And you worked in India as well.
Yes.
So how did this journey begin? If you could tell us a bit about the story of coming into showbiz.
So very quickly, my journey actually began with Bollywood. I didn't really set out to be an actress because, like I said, it was always going to be either humanitarian work or I have my own investment company, which is my day job.
Oh, wow.
And acting is something that I do for passion because I feel that through it I can promote all the things that I saw in my mother as a child.
Yeah, that's so special.
So all the good things about life is what my message is.
Yeah.
So sorry, what was your question?
I was going to say how this journey began, to Bollywood, like from Canada.
So then I saw a news snippet running on this Pakistani TV channel. It said, Pakistani Nazad Armeena Khan is working in Bollywood. And I instantly sensed a kind of ownership, you know, and I felt that is somewhere I could possibly call home. And it's true, the moment I stepped into showbiz, the love and affection that I received from everyone there was just overwhelming. And I am standing here today because of their support. So I'm forever grateful, and I'll continue to do whatever I can for.
And I mean, it's very inspirational for girls to know that a young lady like in showbiz can have their own career and also or be a student and also be acting, singing, you know, doing like the media work. So like you said, you have an investment company. So how do you manage that, and how important do you think it is for young girls to follow their dreams, you know, not just be stuck in the profession? Because if they have those dreams, you know, to fulfill and to make a name for themselves.
I think it's quite difficult for South Asian girls, isn't it, to kind of fulfill our own destinies, but I think it's high time that we challenge those norms. And I think it's easy to say that, and there needs to be guidance, you know, on how to do that. I think the first thing to do is dispense with the whole concept of this false sharmo haya, that if you are a working woman, you are somehow besharam. It's just toxic patriarchy. I think it's just false parameters set on us by society, and I feel that those need to be done away with. And how that's going to happen is if the older generation guides the younger ones in the correct way into realizing their true potential, you know, and not to restrict women with shackles of culture and definitely religion, because you know what, Islam is misused for personal agendas so much, and it annoys me because I know I've learned it, I know about it, and I know how liberating it is, but people have adapted it to their own perverse sense of whatever it is that they believe in, and I think it's so wrong. So whenever someone tells me you're not allowed to wear these clothes online, I'm like, where does it say that? Please tell me. So I'll challenge them, and then I find that it's just hand me down religion. People actually haven't read or done any kind of research into their own religion. It's whatever they've been told. I think it's time we need to change that. We need to do our own research. We need to have the correct role models, an alternative to what is now so mainstream and so problematic. So I think once that's done away with, I think you'll see a rise. And already, you know, you see in British Asian women, lots of women are working. And that's because society in general and the culture has given them that confidence.
Yeah.
And I think that can be replicated in
Yeah.
Pakistan and India also.
That's great. And also, Armeena, you have a very supportive partner, your fiance, and for a lot of girls, it's hard to find a partner who will support your career and let you, you know, a lot of girls' careers end after they get married because almost, and a lot of your colleagues have left the industry because they've gotten married and they feel like, oh, it's a choice I've made, like a sacrifice and a compromise I've made, you know, in order to probably, you know, to get married, I need to leave my work or I need to not work. And there is still this stigma in like today's day and age.
Yes.
So how do you feel about that? And what would you like to say to everyone who, a lot of the girls who think that, oh, no, I can only do it until I'm married and after that, no, I'll have to stop.
I think it's down to individual choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't judge people who just want to get married and just settle down. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's their choice. However, to say that I have to do it, I think that's where it becomes slightly problematic, because no, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know, there's no compulsion, and you can absolutely challenge that.
Yeah.
Now, I know people will say, well, you're in a privileged position because you have a supportive partner.
Yeah.
But you see, appearances can be deceiving, and the fact is that we all have our own journeys. I've fought for my own journey. You know, I've paved my own way.
Yeah.
I may have had my own obstacles, not necessarily through my partner,
Yeah.
but through other things.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
definitely.
It could have been society around me. It could have been my friends. It could have been. So there are a million and one things around us as women. So I think it's just the ability to do away, have that clear insight, focus on your goals, and remember, you don't have to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to.
Yeah, that's very true. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's like very wise words from you, Armeena. Armeena, I wanted to go on to speak about beauty. And obviously you're synonymous to beauty and glamour. And it's quite, I think at the moment with the climate, in today's climate, we have a lot of girls and at a very young age they're starting to have fillers and Botox or feeling very insecure about the way they look because of social media, songs. And I know in Pakistan a lot of girls feel that when they see like glamorous jewelers, they're so overpriced as well, you know, by the designers, that it's almost like, oh, we can never look amazing or beautiful because, you know, the majority of the girls in Pakistan, a lot of them may not be able to afford, you know, such expensive all the actresses and what they wear in the songs and stuff. Now you're part of the industry, you're an actress, you have amazing songs out there, wearing amazing clothes, you're on social media, very, very popular. So you're the best person to ask about this. How do you think we can help girls in order to feel like, of course they talk about inner beauty, but then girls don't really want to listen to that. Like, they know at the end of the day, it's the, you know, our lips need to be bigger, or, you know, we need a bit of this, and it's all the filters, and we need this jora to look great.
Okay, so let's shed some realism. Let's inject this with a little bit of realism, because you're absolutely right. I have access to all of those things. But please understand that everything is lent to us. So if I'm wearing a beautiful dress in a song, it's not mine.
Yeah,
I don't own
important.
it.
Yeah,
I probably can't afford it.
Yeah.
You know? So not everyone who's in the media is extremely well-to-do.
Yeah.
You know, it's down to whatever personal success that you've had. Why we're given free clothes? It's because it's an exchange. A designer will give me clothes because I have the following.
Yeah.
Right? And then they get exposure in return. But 9 out of 10 times I have to return that.
Yeah.
You know, as an actor, I have 10 people working on me to look this good.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that, I would look like the average Joe on the street. So you have to understand that all that perfection, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, like you have 10 layers of makeup on your face, although I don't wear that much makeup. I don't.
And you don't need it.
Thank you. But you know, that's... So I don't believe in a lot of makeup. I don't believe in... I try and minimize the impact, you know, of my occupational hazards, you know, and that's why I'm so vocal, because I'm aware of the possible downsides to what I do. But it's a double-edged sword, because through the media I can also educate the masses,
of course,
and make a difference. So I need to retain a voice, in all honesty, to make sure that I continue spreading the positivity that's so needed in today's world. And like there are lots of other actresses who speak about this too, who are real, like our Jamila Jamil. She's very vocal on.
She is, especially on the weight and on weight and all of that, you know, and about products that a lot of celebrities endorse. She's against that.
I will have to work extremely hard to look the way I do. We are not born with this.
Yeah.
Like I said, there will be like 10 makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, you know, doing our hair, makeup, and we'll have like 10 filters on the camera.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's a make-believe world. So please take it with a pinch of salt. I know it's all fantasy and, you know, you want to look like that, but it's the unattainability that attracts us so much. It's within the psyche.
That's true.
And that's what we need to do away with. I'm all for gritty films that show real faces. You know, I don't ask, hey, please put 10 filters on my face. Show me how I am. I don't mind. I've made a conscious decision now to do away with roles that oppress women, and this is a form of oppression. But having said that, I do not judge people, because if they feel they need a filler here and there, if they need it, you know, might have a need for it, you know, perhaps to, for whatever reason. But if you've been given something by God, or I don't know if all of my audiences will believe in God, but whatever it is that you're given, I think one should really play with that. And in my real life, I'm doing my own laundry. I'm washing my own dishes. You know, I'm Cinderella, like, you know, and just scrubbing my floors. And so it isn't all glamorous. You know, I believe that this is my tool to get through life. And remember, things never stay the same. It's a cycle. One day you're here, one day you may be here. So it's about balance, and one should never forget where they've come from.
Exactly.
We are all normal human beings, and I've been given a job for an X number of years. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and make the best difference that I can to the world, and then I'm going to say goodbye.
That's how you feel. That's your input, and I think you've said so many important things, Armeena, because a lot of the audience out there, not just girls, boys too, they don't realize this is an illusion. A lot of boys too, you know. I think I've heard from so many places where a lot of boys say that they want to marry a girl that looks like an actress, you know, that she should look like a Bollywood actress, or she should look like a Pakistani actress, or, you know, or even they have this kind of, you know, you think it's girls, but even boys. So I think it's very important for people who don't realize it's almost an illusion, you know. It's show business at the end of the day.
It's a business, like you said. And what's the main aim of a business? It's to make profit through whatever means. And sadly, that is a ground reality. People need to make people look unrealistic and that unattainable. When I look at myself on the big screen. I'm like, I wish I looked like that.
Wow,
I wish I looked like that.
That's really great, because, you know, like there's a quote saying that the girls in the magazines don't even look like the girls in the magazines.
Absolutely.
You know.
Sometimes I'll see a photo shoot and I'm like, hang on a minute, wow, okay, I look very different. But I have feelings too. You know, there are times when I look at something and I'll be like, oh my god, I wish I looked like that. You know, and I understand the negative impact that social media is having, but it has its uses too, because through that we are all connected. We can have discourse with each other, we can exchange ideas. The world is a lot smaller now because of it. So I think if we put it to positive use, and I think we are all in charge of our own destiny. The journey begins here. If you're in charge of your thoughts, then you've got it made in life. Thoughts are like unwelcome guests, negative thoughts. You open the door to them, you say hello, and then you shut the door on them. Thank you very much. And that's how I choose to move on if I see anything that affects me negatively. Or at least I'm trying to. I'm nowhere near the perfect product. I'm still trying. I'm growing and evolving every day. So let's see where I'll be in 20 years.
Yeah, and I also wanted to ask you, talk more about social media. You know, social media is having a lot of, it has its positive effects as well, but it also has a very negative impact, especially with followers. And I feel like being in the business that you are following is so important. A lot of, you know, a lot of contracts are based on the following that you have, and like you said, with designers or with brand endorsements, you know, it's popularity. But with all these followers comes a lot of criticism, a lot of trolling, a lot of negativity. And how do you feel about this? You know, Instagram is talking about, Kanye West has gone on to say there shouldn't be likes, you know, because there shouldn't be a barometer of like, wow, I've got this many likes, I'm this popular. And in everyday life, people will put down a post and be like, oh, that didn't get enough likes, or maybe, you know, that wasn't a good post, or people didn't like it, or they think, oh, I got so many likes on this, people love this. The people are like falling into this world, aren't they? Slowly but surely, young people that are at the ages of 10 have smartphones and are on these social media. So how do you feel about this? You've got millions of followers yourself, and you know how it is and how, in a way, important it is, but I feel like it's sad how important it is, you know? Do you think it takes away from the merit of actresses?
I think in today's world it's a necessary evil for actors, because there's so much competition now that if you're not visible, then you're going to lose out on work, and that's the ground reality. That's why so many actors and actresses, mainstream ones now, have Instagrams and social media. But then there are a few that aren't on there, like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. They're not. But then those are extremely big global names. They don't need any
promotion or anything.
But having said that, the way the world is now, it's so fast paced that unless you're in the public eye, like I said, you know, that relevance, it goes down. So it's difficult, but I feel that criticism is part and parcel of a public figure's life. But what I won't allow is for any sort of bullying, any comment on my religion and on my clothing and on my relationships. My acting is up for your judgment. I put that out there. But what I haven't put up is myself. The real Armeena is not up for judgment. My decisions, and as long as they're not hurting anyone, they're not up to be judged, because I don't judge anyone else.
I mean, a lot of people in the public eye always get criticized when it comes to, especially being from like South Asian descent, your clothing, and a lot of everyone else gets, you know, picked on with their relationships. Everyone seems to have an opinion. How do you think people can stop this? Because every actress always has this issue, you know. I speak to a lot of Pakistani actresses. It's about the clothing. As soon as you're showing a bit of leg, showing a bit of arm, people are out there, you know, the haram police are going to be like, no, what's that, you know, about? And then if you say something Islamic, they will be like, how can you say anything Islamic when, you know, not just you, with a lot of actresses, with most of the actresses, and with relationships too, like, you know, people seem to, but why do you think people have the audacity to go on social media and comment on like Armeena when you don't even know Armeena?
I'm not sure what drives someone to make hateful comments, because I would think 3 to 4 times if I were to even say a horrid word to someone, never mind going on someone's Instagram or Twitter and leave a hateful comment. I don't know how people are able to do that. That's beyond me, but like I said, it's part and parcel of what we do. Everyone's gonna have an opinion. All I can do is just maintain my focus and ignore and just leave the message for the intended parties, because they will get it, the ones that it's meant for. And why I am so open about my dressing on social media is because, honestly, I will not let anyone dictate. And the message behind that is that you do not let anyone dictate how to live your life. We are all free to choose, and we are all free to make our own decisions. And it's very much in line with my view on life and progressing, because to be able to make your decisions on clothing are very much part and parcel of that.
Yeah.
So, and you know, my clothing is always in context. So if I'm on the beach, how do you dress up on the beach? You're not going to wear a shalwar kameez on the beach, are you?
Yeah.
And what's always misconstrued is you do not want to appear conspicuous, like you're standing out. So the spirit behind the message in Islam is that you need to be modest and not draw attention to yourself.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking around in a Western society, you know, I'm I mean, obviously it's down to personal choice, but you're drawing attention to yourself. You are, you know, and you're drawing attention to yourself, which just takes away
from the modesty,
from the very idea, because you're forcing people to look at you.
Yeah.
So here, nobody cares what you wear, which is something that people in those parts of the world don't understand, that it's so common, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares what you wear. I could be in tracksuit bottoms, I could be in a bikini, I could walk down the road with funny hair and a Joker's outfit. No one's gonna bat an eye, because there's acceptability. And I think for us to be a truly tolerant society, we need to tolerate people's choices and their clothing, and wearing whatever it is that you want doesn't mean that you're a bad Muslim. Because what to me is a bad Muslim is someone who lies, cheats, kills, pillages, rapes. Why are all those things acceptable? And the brigade is out when there's a clothing issue. You're not Muslim.
Yeah, that's the main thing, exactly.
So it's, I think that's just hypocrisy, and that needs to be wheedled out.
Yeah. And before we go, I mean, I wanted to ask, my last question is, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? And what do you have in mind? What do you have in store for us?
So, like I said, my mission statement in life is to propagate all that is good, to promote all that is good. And part and parcel of that is telling stories that will empower others, because I believe in doing so. And you may see me behind the cameras.
Oh, wow, that's very exciting news. So I'm going to have to catch you before that happens and talk more about that.
So we're very much works in progress, and hopefully we'll be somewhere in a few months, provided that I find the right script.
Yeah, that's really great. Thank you so much for your time, Armeena.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Armeena Khan, and you can catch me on Real Life with Ridah Khan. If you like the interview, if you like the channel, please subscribe to it.